No, I think for all of us, like we've. Dude, your seat. You need to put
Demetrius, and I play guitar and sing.
Jeff, I play drums, and possibly percussion in the future.
I'm Dexter, and I play cello.
And, I'm Matthew, and I play guitar and keyboard.
A little bit of singing.
And a little bit of singing, sure.
It started through a text message, but the idea kind of started in passing, like in the hallways, and over time, just we've known each other from other bands. I played in Goodbye Monday, and these guys played in Ilya, and our band that's toured together. And over that time, we learned things about music that we probably didn't know we had in common about this really heavy side and this really dark side that our bands weren't really doing, but we all wanted to do. Well, the steel guitar was kind of just sitting in the room, and we were trying to figure out what else to add, or what to have Sean, the bass player, do while he wasn't playing.
Oh,
the whole quiet
the
beginning.
slide. Okay.
In the lap steel.
I gotcha.
Yeah,
And,
that just happened because it was in the room.
Yeah.
I remember that.
Yeah.
Like having strings and pianos and all that, it just kind of went with the idea, of the direction we want to do with the band. So we got Dexter through a Craigslist ad.
And then he brought in Stephanie because he knew her.
Yep.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, mostly it's been ideas that these guys have kind of bounced off each other guitar-wise, and then everything else has kind of developed around
Or
it.
piano-wise. I mean,
Yeah,
Zazen
yeah.
was very much a piano song that evolved into one of our heaviest songs.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I've seen bands with two drummers play, and when they're playing a lot of the same stuff together, you're just kind of like, why?
What's the point?
Defeats the
What's
point.
the point?
Or purpose.
What we want to do, which is, it's going to take a lot of time to kind of achieve it, is to really have it so that there's one person playing, the primary beat, and someone else is doing more percussion-based stuff to kind of complement it. And there are times where we want to, do kind of lock in and play the same stuff for, the power factor. But I think we've talked about adding like a percussion station, and we haven't gotten there yet, but we plan on adding some.
It's kind of like two guitar players. Like you're just working like two guitar players. Yeah. Like I noticed that I almost never look at Gabe or fall on any of his calls, although he tends to be like the more aggressive drummer, where you'd think I'd be following him more, but I don't really. Like I'm more looking at him all the time, and then we seem to be like communicating a lot.
And Gabe actually folls you.
Yeah, somehow I found out that Gabe was following me a lot. And I'm like, whoa, do I need to start paying attention to you? Because I'm not. It's very abstract. It's very dark. A lot of it was very performance art based. It's something that's kind of a mood that I kind of wanted that when I first brought up this idea of this band, it was like one of the things I thought of was to have this really dark performance art. I think that's really cool. It's kind of super creepy. Performance art is just creepy on its own. To add creepy music to it too is just great.
But it always freaks me out when I run into somebody that has been in bands, and you're like, hey, what are you still playing music? And they're like, no.
Yeah,
I haven't played drums in 5 years, or I haven't picked up a guitar, and that freaks me out.
It's far. Yeah, it's very foreign to me.
I just go, if I didn't have like a creative outlet to like do stuff.
Yeah, it's definitely not like a success thing. I really don't have like a long-term vision for where we go. It's just more about how much can we create.
Mm-hmm.
What's the single funniest thing that's ever happened to you ever in your entire life? This is Ilya and Goodbye Blue Monday were on tour together. We did a whole U.S. tour. We were in where were we? Baton Rouge.
Yeah.
And we we covered their tour van with ketchup and mustard as an adhesive, and then we wrapped we wrapped tinfoil around it.
Oh my god!
It looked like one of those.
It looked like a Chipotle burrito.
They made a cake out of our van.
Yeah.
Eggs, milk, flour. Yeah.
Yeah, and the end result of that turned out kind of bad though.
It ate the paint off.
That shit did not come off. I don't think it's still off.
Wow.
Yeah, the end result was like, oh shit, then something went sour. We actually ruined the band. I was a fan of the San Diego music scene when I lived in New Jersey when I was growing up. And favorite bands were from here. Yeah, I think
So-
it's actually kind of come full circle around right now. A lot of bands from 15 years ago have either gotten back together or are still around and doing well again now.
Mm-hmm.
Like there was that whole reunion surge last year at the Casbah where like 3 Mile Pilot, every band you could think of from 15 years ago was playing sold out shows.
Yeah.
They sold out 3 nights.
I was 8. I have no clue.
I mean, San Diego's like, it's so huge, and there's like the beach crowd, there's which includes OB and PB, which are totally different. There's like the metal scene, which is like brick by brick. There's the Casbah scene, there's like the San Diego State College. I mean, there's so many different things going on.
Yeah, I think like the Blink 182 and that, like, they're just one piece of all of that that's going on. I don't really think just because they became super big that they really had any more of an effect on the scene here or an effect on the way people thought of the scene here. They were just like one little plug in the whole system.
Everyone basically thought that they could start a band, and every band sounded the exact same.
I can totally see that
It was
happening.
guys, people skateboarding and trying to start a band, and everyone like played guitar apparently, and everyone played bass suddenly, and I think that was probably one of the big reasons why I fell out of it, because it wasn't my type of music.
Well, I had a couple favorite bands from San Diego when I was in New Jersey.
Feel free to name drop.
One of them was Spanacorzo, and one of them was the Swing Kids. And these two bands had never known each other because of the scenes they were a part of until band members crossed. When they lost a band member and one of the band members from the other band joined the other band or something like that happened. Like they were like, Swing Kids were like this all ages scene of hardcore kids. And the Spanacorzo was the bar guys that used to be part of the all ages scene, but they got older. Or like, I guess Spanacorzo is probably a bad example, but like No Knife, way stretched far from Swing Kids. They didn't know each other. They had never played with each other. They were two of my favorite bands, and I move out here and I see them both kind of getting to know each other for the first time. I'm like, you guys don't know each other from like the 90s? You guys were like in the same scene. Oh no, we weren't in the same scene.
Yeah.
They were Shea Cafe, we were Casbah. And I'm like, was it really that divided?
Yeah, I feel like I've grown up, like going from, that scene when I was younger to going out of it and then starting this scene now.
Sorry, there was a lot of cutting out.
I don't think that's gonna work.
And then show listings, I don't know what you could do to make them any better or anything like that, but I think that was like the main reason over the years I've ever gone to the website, was just to look at the show listings because it's a broad list. And I think you should try to promote that somehow again, because it was great 5 years ago when I would go to San Diego Punk. If I, like, what's going on tonight? And I'd look there and it was like every venue was listed, and it was like the easiest way to find your answer.
Cool. Anything else you want to say to the kids at home? Don't do drugs. Stay in school.
Protect your attitude.
Yeah, protect your attitude.
That's the same.
Yes.
How do you pronounce the name of the band?
Kata.